one of the most common questions we get is what kind of training tools do we use when we're working with dogs? We kind of use a little bit of everything, and that kind of goes back to, you know, we don't just train dogs. We train to your individual dog's needs, and your needs as well. So we kind of combine both. What's best for your dog, and then what's best for you. So we kind of use basically a lot of tools and toys. We use food, absolutely. We use food and treats as rewards and motivations, but we use them a little bit different than most trainers in that we don't just bribe them with the food or the treats, like, come to me and I'll give you this. It's more of, I have your payday right here. This is what you need to live, and if I say come, I pay you. Just like we have to work for our food, we actually make your dogs work for their food as well. So it kind of works back on that relationship between you and your dog. Other tools we use are sometimes just the flat collar your dog is already wearing. We use slip collars, very rare, but sometimes. Prong collars. I know prong collars look like a medieval torture device, but they are not. In fact, we were at a dog conference a few years ago with Dr. Faber. She is a holistic chiropractic acupuncturist vet, and she said the prongs are actually the safest for the dog's spinal column because those prongs are evenly spaced apart. One, they never cut off blood flow or airflow, and two, they don't put any undue pressure on the spine. The other cool thing about the prong collars, it's a symbiotic no. How does a mommy dog correct her puppies? She bites them on the neck. So a prong collar is something your dog understands. That doesn't mean they won't throw a temper tantrum if you put one on them, but it's definitely something they understand that it's no. Some dogs don't like being told no at first, so we have to kind of work that relationship using more of that food, reward, motivation, and then, you know, showing them that no's not a bad thing. It's a positive thing. We're just telling you, no, we don't like that. Let me show you what you should do instead. The other tools that we use, and this is probably our most common tool, is what most people want, is the e-collar. So an e-collar is a remote trainer that some people kind of shy away from, think they're, you know, mean and inhumane, but they're not. They are basically like a cell phone for your dog. And the e-collar is mostly confused with shock collar. We don't shock dogs. We use on the lowest level necessary to get your dog's attention. So what does that mean? Basically, the e-collar goes up to 100 levels. Back in the old days, when the e-collars first came out, or the shock collars first came out, they were used on dogs that had really high drive. So canine working dogs, field dogs that did hunting and retrieval and things like that. And so these dogs are bred to withstand all kinds of harsh environments, loud noises, you know, thick brush. And so, you know, if you have a canine unit biting your arm and you say to release, out, they're not going to listen to you. And so they were used on really, really high levels. The e-collars were used on really, really high levels to get the dogs to let go. That's not how we use them now. We use them as communication, not as harsh correction. So when I say come on a very low level, so they go up to 100 levels, most dogs we work with respond between a 4 and a 7. When we say come, we page them and we say come as we push the button on the e-collar, and it gives your dog just this little tingle that's like, hey, I'm talking to you, or I'm calling you. Your dog's like, oh, got it, here I come. And so it builds on that relationship. But the other cool thing with the e-collar is it gets you the fastest and the most humane off-leash reliability. So it's a favorite for our clients because that's what everybody wants. They want your dog to listen off of a leash and from a distance, on the other side of the house or on the other side of the yard, or maybe at the park where you guys are playing. And so those are the most common tools we use. But like I said, we're open to whatever works best for our clients and their dogs.